Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Sharizo bin Marzuki from SEB program with metric number J20A0631, ready to explain about Hooke's law. My experiment is Hooke's law. The theory of the Hooke's law is the displacement of the spring is directly proportional to the deforming force or load. Alright, first of all, you need to open the Phet app on the Google to do an experiment of Hooke's law. In the experiment, we have given the applied force, spring force, displacement, equilibrium position and value. The applied force is the orange arrow, this one. Spring force is the blue arrow, this one. Displacement is a green arrow, this one. Equilibrium is the green line, this. And the value is on the arrow and line, this one. We have been given the spring constant and applied force. There are two springs on the display. First spring constant with 100 Newton per meter and the second spring constant with 200 Newton per meter. This one 100 Newton per meter and this one 200 Newton per meter. So we put 10 Newton force on both spring. This one 10 Newton and this one 10 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.100 meter displacement and the 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.050 meter displacement, this one and this one. Next, we put 20 Newton force to both spring, this one 20 Newton and this one 20 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.200 meter displacement and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.100 meter displacement, this one and this one. Next, we put 30 force on both spring, this one 30 Newton and this one 30 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.300 meter displacement and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.150 displacement, this one, this one. Next, we put 40 Newton force on both spring, this one 40 Newton and this one 40 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.400 meter displacement, this one, and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.200 meter displacement, this one. Next, we put 50 Newton force on both spring, this one 50 Newton and this one 50 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.500 meter displacement and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.250 meter displacement, this one and this one. Next, we put 60 Newton force on both spring, this one 60 Newton and this one 60 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.600 meter displacement and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.300 meter displacement, this one and this one. Next, we put 70 Newton force on both spring, this one 70 Newton and this one 70 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.700 meter displacement and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.350 meter displacement, this one and this one. Next, we put 80 Newton force on both spring. This one 80 Newton and this one 80 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.800 meter displacement, and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.400 meter displacement. This one and this one. Next, we put 19 Newton force on both spring. This one 90 Newton and this one 90 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.900 meter displacement, and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.450 meter displacement. This one and this one. In the end, we put 100 Newton force on both spring. This one 100 Newton and this one 100 Newton. 100 Newton per meter spring constant will get 1.00 meter displacement, and 200 Newton per meter spring constant will get 0.500 meter displacement. This one and this one. The conclusion in this experiment is the stretch of a spring is directly proportional to the applied force. Each answer for every displacement is different because the extension of a spring is proportional to the load applied to it. The displacement of spring depends on the weight or lightness of the load. In my conclusion, even the extension spring is increased from 100 Newton per meter to 200 Newton per meter, but the result of the force will be decreased because the heavier of the material, the lower of its value of the force. My recommend is this platform are very useful for students because it can make us understand how the Hooke's law happens. This platform also can open our mind to make online lab. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.